Hey spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here and welcome back to Let's Play Mashinky. Now where we left off, we were in the process of repaying our loan. But we're not repaying it solely to just get rid of the interest, we're repaying it because it's the most efficient way to bank money in the early game, because if we just had it in our inventory, we'd be paying interest on it. So we pay it back so that we have something to draw from, and now we're going to use it to extend our infrastructure. So I have been looking around here for a few different towns. There is a town here, that's London, it's pretty small, but I don't think we want to care about that one. There's some towns over here on these flat areas that I could connect up, and I'm totally on board with that plan. The town of Bristol could be connected up to Halifax. And this would also serve as a decent location for a sawmill connection. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get started with this. We're going to drop our station right here, like so. This will be Bristol. I need to actually start dipping into my reserve of cash now. And we want to connect it to Halifax. Now Halifax is a fairly small place, but it does have some useful things in it, namely towns, and it's also near a coal mine, which is quite useful too, because there's a tool station nearby. There it is, there's a tool. There's a couple of tool places nearby that we'll be able to make use of, hopefully, when we get our network built out. So I would like to connect both the coal station and the town in the one thingy. So this needs to be one, two, three, four. So this is as far away as I can build. So I don't quite have enough tokens. I'll borrow another little. And so this train is going to come out and around like that. And then head over here. So we'll come out one tile. And you're connected to the town, and if I put a waiting room here, you'll capture most of the town, right? Yes, okay, so you should capture most of the town when I place a waiting room on you, and you'll also capture the coal mine. We won't be using the coal mine straight away. But one day we will find a use for it. Okay, so I want to go straight past this, so that's to here, right along here. Like that. I want to go straight past that forest. I have not enough tokens. I don't mind going down into the dip here. Although really, if I were building correctly, I would follow the lay of the land as much as possible. So I may redirect. No, we'll just go straight. Building straight lines. Straight lines are better. I'll borrow a little bit more cash here, and then I will flatten this out. Boosh, like that. It'll cost me a little bit of money, but it will be useful long run here. So we're going to divert into this. And here we go. So now we have a town connection from here to here, but we also have a viable sawmill connected here, so we can hook up this wood forest thingy in the near future. How exactly I'm going to do that, I'm not entirely sure, but I will figure it out. Okay, so let's get our depot over here. I think I'll set up the depot up on this end of things. Right there. I will get my depot. This will be a 260 porter with 5 coach cars. Oh, I need more cash. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be a 260 porter with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars on it. It will go from station 6 near Halifax all the way over to station 5 near Bristol. And it will get started. Did I place my catchment areas out of curiosity? I did not. So I'm going to need to borrow another 100. I'm going to want to put my waiting rooms right here. And I'll also want a waiting room over here. And there it is. So right now we're using what are called terminal stations, where trains come into the station and then turn around and come out. Eventually we're going to want to move away from using terminal stations, but for now, terminals are just fine. Now coal will accumulate in this station even though we can't use it right now, but that's not the end of the world. You can see Halifax is very slowly dropping people in here. And the great thing about smaller towns is they actually don't need quite as many people to be delivered for them to grow. So we're continuing to increase our income. So you can see, I think there's a way to see here. If we look through station income here, you can see our first couple of years we didn't make much money. The second couple of years we made a lot more. And hopefully this year will also be an increase again in our net income. So we still have a lot of money banked and we have another set of places connected up. I think it is time though to start getting wood. So they want me to deliver logs into any sawmill. So I'm going to get started here with the forest near Halifax. However, there's something I want to build on the sawmill first. I want to build a toy shop, but I need 50 thingies because this allows me to turn wood into money as well, which means it's less expensive for me to maintain this trade route. I want to flatten here so that I have room to extend the sawmill. So let's see if I can... I need to see if I can delete some of this stuff here because I want to connect like that, and my wood station will go here. This will be where the wood is picked up. And the train that I'm going to use will need a signal here. Like that. And I'll need a signal here as well. So these two, I'll have to explain exactly what I'm doing here in a moment, but first I'll make the train. So basically, right, what signals do is they break up your railway track into blocks. So by putting this signal here, I essentially separate this piece of rail from these two pieces of rail, and this piece of rail here from this piece of rail. So anytime there's a train all the way along here, the train will come to these red arrows and wait until it's clear. It'll make sense once I actually build the train. It'll be much more simple once I have the things in place. So let me grab a 2/6 porter. I will build these stewed dingers. I think I need a little bit more cash. Keep borrowing here. I don't want to over borrow because I don't want to pay more interest than I have to. I'm going to want to go to a length 6 train. 5.8 is just long enough. So this train is going to go to station 5, and then it's going to go to station 7. At station 7, it's going to do a full load, and then it'll loop back to the start. So what I'm going to do with train 3 is I'm going to send it to the depot. And then I will activate train 4. And that's because I need to get... Right now, if I were to send out train 4, it would go all the way to this signal. And then neither train could pass each other, which would be really bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send this train to the depot. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. You need to go to depot. And... I'm gonna force him to turn around. Okay, there we go. Because I made a mistake there. I didn't mean to send him out yet. That was an error. So I'm gonna send train 3 into the depot. Then I'll launch out train 4. Train 4 will get to work, and then I'll send out train 3. Damn it, train 3. You weren't supposed to go yet, but I'll put a signal here and that'll kind of solve the problem when you go in there. Train 4 should be able to leave. So train 3 will wait until train 4 has cleared this signal here, until the back of train 4 is past this signal. Then train 3 will leave. There we go. And then train 3 will hold at this location. I need to return some of this cash. He's going to hold here until this train comes back and goes into the wood location. Now this isn't an ideal way to set up your trains, but we don't have a lot of money, so we have to kind of make do with what we can. You should turn to the right here, and then train 3 should be able to go. Now there's a better way to do this. And it kind of involves retooling our entire network. But I have no problem doing that with the cash flow that we have. So let's go in here and make some edits. The very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a second station pad here. And we will create a second line of rail. We will create a crossover point, like so. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have two tracks. Now, because of the exact layout that I have right now, I'll need to make some changes like this. But long term, this is going to be expensive in the short term, but it'll be efficient in the long term. So if you come up here, like so. And now I need to exactly navigate how I'm going to do this. So you go there. So let me go ahead and so there's a little bit of trickery I'm going to have to do here to make sure this works properly. First of all, I need signals in here. The very first signal I need are entry signals. And I need an exit signal. I'm trying to remember exactly. Well, trains will never be full loading in here, so that's fine. And this should allow trains to always be able to leave and enter. This isn't a perfect signal setup, but basically what I'm saying is trains can always go in this way, but you must leave out the right-hand track, which is exactly what we want. So a train will come in on the right and then leave on the right from the train's perspective. So from the train's perspective, it comes in on the right-hand side, it comes into the station, the train turns around, and then it leaves on the right-hand side. So the trains are always from the train's perspective, they're always on the right-hand side of the track. So we'll head up here. This causes some issues here with Station 7 about how exactly we set this up. So in order for you to go this way, I need to do this sort of thing. There we go. So you should now be able to exit up this way and be able to. So this train can now come out this way, head out to where it needs to go, and then on the way back, it should be able to come in and enter into its own station. This isn't the perfect way to set this up, but it'll work in the short term. It only needs to work in the short term. So we're going to want to monitor this a little bit to see if there's any blockages or anything. Okay, there we go. We're now producing wooden planks. And it looks like it's working reasonably well. I will add a couple of brake signals in here. I'm going to just I'll do them at fairly regular intervals. Since this isn't going to handle a whole lot of traffic, I'll just put a few out. This should really only be handling basically passenger routes from Halifax and Bristol with a little bit of wood, and then I need to transport this wood over to this toolworks. How am I going to do that, do you ask? Well, it's actually fairly simple. All I need to do is create some sort of intersection or a way for the trains to get off this track here. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. I'm going to create a very I'm going to create a very basic kind of intersection that I've seen a lot of people do. Now, they're not really great intersections, but they do the trick. Like so. And I need a little bit more room to work with here, so I'll do that. Okay, so this allows you to turn to the right. This allows you to turn to the left as you come in here. And you'll never need to go another way. So this... Well, I suppose trains from over here will need to go this way too, so I should do the full connector layout. So if you're coming in from this way, you're going to want to turn that way. And if you're coming in from this way, you're going to want to turn... If you're coming in from this way, you're going to want to be able to turn to the left as well. So this is sort of a... I'm not sure exactly how to describe this, but basically, it's a very simple three-way intersection that allows a train to come in from this arrow, let's say. It goes along here, and then up this piece of track here when I put my signal on it. Similarly, it allows the train to come in from this way and turn to the right, or turn to the left. It allows the train to come from this way to turn to the left or go straight. And it also allows the train... So basically, it allows trains to go multiple different directions, essentially. And that should be that. I'll put another signal here. Now, it's not a very efficient layout of a crossroad, but it will let trains pass, which is all that matters. So, we need to get a train landing over here. A train station, rather. So let's... Oh, train has been stopped at a signal for a long time. Okay, I guess you got that resolved, right? You can sweep past. So you can see how I've got a much more efficient setup now. Oh, did I not connect you properly? Oh, I don't think I did. So this should be like this. That's the way in and that's the way out. Right. So we're going to want to connect up over to this tool shed, I think. Right? Is that the tool shed I want to connect to? I think it is. And I also think it totally makes sense to connect to the actual town itself. Like this. So let's do our terminal crossroad thingy as well here. Like that. And like this. Now I need to cut across here. I'm going to do some terrain flattening. Not like that though. I want to make it just... I don't want to make more terrain edits than I have to. You can see that's already getting very, very expensive. So we're going to actually minimize our terrain editing here, just to make flat faces. So this looks like it's a viable candidate for a flatten here. I'm going to try and follow the contours of the land to minimize expense. So I want to turn early and head up into here and follow this bit of terrain if I can manage it. See if I can't get this to play nice with me. There's a bit of an uphill here going on that I don't want. Okay, good stuff. We've got a nice diagonal going. The hope is I'll be able to connect up over here. You want to minimize your slopes and stuff like that as a general rule. Okay, and we'll turn somewhere over here. Some people like to use the flatten tool. I like to modify corner by corner. I guess it gives me that little bit more control. I'm going to borrow a bit of cash here. Okay, we do need to be careful though, because we have dipped heavily into our cash flow here. So that's something I'm going to want to be very wary about. In fact, I'll even unpause the game just so that I have income coming in. I don't want to get caught with no money. So this is the left-hand road, which will be the way in some ways. So this is what I'm connecting. We're connecting these two together. But I want to connect like this. I want to connect around here. I want to turn at some point. And I think I'll turn. I think I want to go basically straight up the hill. And then do a normal turn around here somewhere. So there's a bit of terraforming ahead. Maybe a bit too much. Maybe I'll do like a diagonal turn. Okay, what's the height difference here? 14. Okay, we're up to 14. Let's convert you over to this side. There we go. We'll go up the hill. And then we'll turn. There we go. Excellent. So this is now connected. I just need to get the second lot of track going as well. And that's going to want to follow as closely as humanly possible to the other one, which means there's a bit more terraforming in my future. Like so. And because this track is built in a particular way, it's actually kind of using its own little bit of, I don't remember what this is called, but it's, you know, the gravel they put to raise up a track. It's keeping itself up, basically, without having to do extra terraforming. Let's go ahead and just negotiate this down a little. And there we go. So this is now connected up. So I have, not only do I have a new town connected, but I can move my planks over to here to get plank tokens. So let's get our train. We'll use this depot. We want to minimize how many depots we make. I'll get a 260 porter. And I will use this Wronghoffer. 1, 2, 3. I want to get as close to size 6 as I can. That seems like a good size. I'm going to head over here. I won't be doing a full load. I'll just be doing a regular load. And so this train should transmit between the two stations. I will put a few signals over here. Oh, I kind of made things weird here, didn't I? Let me tidy this up a little. Yeah, it should be like that. And for now, I'll just do a very simple setup. This is the way in, this is the way out. And that should do the trick for this section. There'll only be one train going around here for now. Let's speed up time. You see these trains passed each other without too much issue. I will delete this piece because this will cause me issues later if I keep it, but it was useful for a moment. So you can see this train goes straight through the intersection. This train fills up with planks and then turns to the right. You should see that now. There it is. Excellent. Now, right now, no other trains can turn right because this signal is red. But that won't be a big deal. I'll fix that later. There's also passengers here that are worth picking up. The question is, which town do I deliver them to? I could have done a mixed plank and passenger train, so maybe I'll do like a mixed coal and passenger train to go to Station 6. That sounds like it could be fun. Yeah, you know what? I haven't really done mixed trains much. But I'm going to do a mixed train here. I'm going to go for a 260 porter. I will go with 1, 2, 3 coach cars. And then I'll take a few of these Talbots as well. I want to get up to size 6 if I can. There we go. So this train can hold 54 passengers and 30 coal. And this train is going to go between Halifax and the Cambridge Toolworks. So that means I am going to need these new signals here to make this more transmittable. Like so. The exact setup of this is, I did do a video on this, and this can have issues, but it shouldn't cause any problems as long as you don't use the full load order. The terminal stations are definitely inferior, in my opinion, to most other station layouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just want to prevent holdups at the intersection. So now you should be ready to go. Now there is a problem here that we are sharing a line here. Ideally I would have a second station platform for this to use, but in the meantime this will be fine. But a combo passenger and coal train, I haven't really done this before, but it's interesting, you know. Oh, I got a subsidy here. This will be 25 planks. There's also a sawmill near Halifax over here, or a forest over here, that wants me to pick up its stuff and deliver it to a sawmill. I will do that maybe. I don't know if I will. You do get a subsidy for it, 300 cash, but I'm not sure if that's worth it. I'm going to repay a little bit of my loan here. I'm going to watch this guy deliver. He should turn left here. And there it is. Left from the train's perspective. And it'll drop off its coal in here. You can see the coal is launching into the tool shed and becoming coal down here for myself. See, the train comes in full of wood. Well, not quite full of wood, but has a decent amount. If we would want to connect a second forest to this lumber mill in order to get it to fully fill up, which would probably be this forest, but that's a pretty far away forest actually. So the big thing that we want to do here is we actually want to build a toy shop here, because that will mean we also get money for delivering planks here, and money can be pretty short in the early game. In particular, it's the sort of thing that you struggle the most with in the early game, so that's why I like to get a toy shop going early. I feel that it really helps out. So we'll probably wait until the end of the episode and then we'll get a toy shop. But you can see Train 4 is picking up some good stuff. Now this is an issue. If there's a train on the intersection, no other trains can move, which kind of may cause problems down the line. This will have to be troubleshot at some point. But right now our network, because our network is fairly low capacity and low traffic, it's operating just fine in the short term. Okay, so I delivered logs. I will also collect this reward. And I'm going to build my toy shop now because this will give me cash. So this will now turn any wood that we deliver into cash as well. So let me see if I can show you that. You can see this cash coming out. I just saw it there, but I'll wait until these planks come back. This train is taking a full load. I could go in here and I could buy a tree nursery to speed this up a little bit. And you know what? Just for the sake of it, I'll build a tree nursery. So this should make planks a little bit quicker now. Or logs a little bit quicker, rather. And so now once these are delivered, you'll see money popping up over the sawmill. And there we go. Now we're getting money and planks out of it, which is really, really nice. It's just going to help us in that short term really make the money that we need. I'm going to repay this so I just don't pay interest. But you can see we've got a nice little network going over here, built off the back of the cash that we made from these two very simple train stations over here that we built. Oh, Doncaster's almost ready to grow again. Interesting. But anyway, this has been an exciting second episode to Mashinky. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Please remember to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Remember to leave a like if you want to directly support my channel. And remember to leave a comment if you want to give me your feedback. Other than that though, I want to say I love you all very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!